Imagine this for a moment. You're stuck in traffic, late, surrounded by noise and impatience. Or maybe you're sitting across from someone whose words cut deeper than you expected. Or perhaps you're alone at night, replaying worries you can't seem to silence. In moments like these, calm feels distant, almost unreachable. We often believe peace will arrive when life finally cooperates, when people change, when circumstances improve. But what if calm was never meant to come from the outside at all? This is where Stoicism quietly enters the conversation. Not as an escape from reality, and not as a denial of pain, but as a steady way of meeting life exactly as it is. For centuries, Stoicism has guided people through uncertainty, pressure, loss, and responsibility. Emperors, teachers, former slaves, and ordinary individuals alike turn to it not for comfort alone, but for clarity. At its core, Stoicism teaches a simple yet demanding truth: real strength is internal. When the world is loud, composure becomes power. When chaos surrounds you, stillness becomes control. On this channel, Stoic Quiet Strength, we explore that quiet power. Not dominance, not noise, but mastery of the self. In this journey, we'll walk through 10 lessons from Stoicism that can help you stay calm no matter what life places in your path. These lessons are not abstract ideas meant to sound impressive. They are practical anchors, meant to be lived, practiced, and returned to whenever the storms rise. Each one builds upon the last, shaping a mind that is steady, resilient, and unshaken. The first lesson is the foundation upon which all Stoic calm is built: understand what is within your control, and release what is not. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic teachers, said, "Some things are in our control and others not." At first glance, this seems obvious. Yet most anxiety comes from ignoring this truth. We exhaust ourselves trying to manage outcomes, people's opinions, the past, or the future. Stoicism asks us to pause and draw a clear line. Your thoughts, your choices, your actions, your values, these belong to you. The weather, the economy, other people's moods, and the final result of your efforts do not. When you accept this distinction, something remarkable happens. You stop wasting energy fighting reality. Instead of reacting emotionally to every external shift, you turn inward and focus on what you can shape. Epictetus compared life to an archer releasing an arrow. The archer can train, aim carefully, and release with skill. But once the arrow leaves the bow, the wind, distance, and movement of the target take over. The Stoic finds peace not in hitting the target every time, but in knowing they acted with intention and excellence. This mindset changes how you experience daily life. You still work hard. You still care. But you no longer attach your peace to outcomes you cannot command. Calm becomes a byproduct of discipline, not luck. You begin to understand that control is not about forcing results, but about governing your inner world with quiet authority. And once this foundation is laid, once you truly accept where your power begins and ends, a deeper calm becomes possible. From here, Stoicism leads us naturally into the next lesson: acceptance, not as weakness, but as strength refined. If this resonates with you, stay with this journey. Subscribe to Stoic Quiet Strength, where we explore power in silence, and learn how calm, when mastered, becomes unshakable. Once you understand what is within your control and what is not, the next challenge reveals itself naturally. Even when we stop trying to control everything, we often still resist reality. We argue with what has already happened. We replay moments we cannot undo. We wish circumstances were different. This inner resistance is subtle, but it is one of the greatest sources of unrest. This is why the second lesson of Stoicism is not force, but acceptance. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who carried the weight of an entire empire on his shoulders, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Acceptance, in Stoicism, is not surrender and it is not passivity. It is the clear-eyed recognition of reality as it stands, without resentment, without complaint. Life moves according to laws far larger than our preferences. To fight those laws is to exhaust yourself endlessly. Stoic acceptance is learning to cooperate with reality rather than collide with it. Think of a river flowing downhill. You can stand in its path and struggle against the current, or you can learn to move with it, adjusting your steps, conserving energy, and choosing where to place your feet. Marcus Aurelius understood that pain is often intensified not by events themselves, but by the stories we attach to them. When we say, "This shouldn't have happened," we add a second layer of suffering to the first. Acceptance clears that second layer away. It allows you to meet hardship without bitterness and success without arrogance. When circumstances change, you change with them, calmly, deliberately, without losing yourself. This is why acceptance creates emotional steadiness. You are no longer shocked by reality. You expect change. You expect difficulty. And because of that expectation, you are prepared. From acceptance flows a quiet flexibility. You stop demanding that life obey your plans, and instead focus on responding well to whatever appears. This mindset does not make you weaker, it makes you durable. The Stoic accepts the moment, then acts wisely within it. And once acceptance becomes part of you, your attention naturally shifts to where life actually happens, the present moment. This leads us to the third lesson, mindfulness. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher deeply aware of how easily the mind drifts into worry, warned, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Much of our distress does not come from what is happening now, but from what already happened or what might happen later. The Stoics understood this centuries before modern psychology. Mindfulness, in Stoicism, is the discipline of anchoring yourself in the now. To be mindful is not to escape thought, but to observe it. It is to notice when your mind races ahead into fear or loops backward into regret, and gently bring it back. The present moment is the only place where action is possible, where calm can exist, where life is actually lived. Everything else is memory or anticipation. Seneca encouraged attention to ordinary moments, walking, breathing, speaking, listening. Not because they are dramatic, but because they are real. When you fully inhabit the present, anxiety loosens its grip. You are no longer overwhelmed by imagined futures or haunted by fixed pasts. You deal with what is in front of you, one moment at a time. Mindfulness strengthens calm because it simplifies life. Instead of carrying the weight of everything at once, you carry only what is necessary now. This does not make you careless. It makes you precise, focused, grounded. Calm becomes a habit, not a rare state. And as your attention stabilizes, as your mind becomes less scattered, you begin to notice something else. Challenges no longer feel like threats. They begin to feel like training. This realization opens the door to the fourth lesson. Resilience. If this way of thinking speaks to you, remain here. Subscribe to Stoic Quiet Strength, where silence becomes discipline and discipline becomes power. When the mind is anchored in the present, hardship no longer feels like an ambush. It feels expected. This is where Stoicism introduces one of its most misunderstood lessons, which is the fourth lesson, resilience. Not the loud, aggressive kind that pretends pain doesn't exist, but the quiet kind that remains steady while acknowledging difficulty fully. Epictetus taught that adversity is not something to fear, but something to use. He believed life does not test us to break us, but to reveal us. Difficulties, he said, show a person's character. To the Stoic, challenges are not interruptions to life, they are life. Every obstacle is an opportunity to practice calm, discipline, and clarity. Resilience in Stoicism begins with a crucial shift in perception. Events themselves are neutral. What gives them power is the judgment we attach to them. Two people can face the same hardship, yet one remains composed while the other collapses under its weight. The difference is not strength of circumstance, but strength of interpretation. When you stop labeling events as unbearable or unfair, they lose their ability to dominate your emotions. Think of resilience like tempering steel. Steel is strengthened by repeated exposure to heat and pressure. Without resistance, it remains fragile. In the same way, a life without challenge produces a mind unprepared for reality. Stoicism trains you to meet difficulty deliberately, to say, "This too belongs," and to move forward without panic. This does not mean suppressing emotion. It means refusing to let emotion dictate your behavior. You feel frustration, disappointment, or fear. But you do not hand them the steering wheel. Calm is not the absence of feeling. It is mastery over response. This mastery brings us directly to the fifth lesson, the power of choosing your response. Epictetus was unwavering on this point. It is not things themselves that disturb us, he wrote, but our judgments about them. No matter what unfolds around you, there is always a pause, however brief, between event and reaction. In that pause lives your freedom. This is where Stoic strength resides. Most people live reactively. They are pulled by impulses, provoked by others, controlled by moods they never question. The Stoic chooses differently. He trains himself to respond rather than react. When insulted, he pauses. When disappointed, he reflects. When pressured, he slows down. This is not weakness. It is control refined. Choosing your response is an act of inner leadership. You decide what deserves your energy and what does not. You align your reactions with your values instead of your impulses. In doing so, you protect your peace. You become predictable to yourself, steady under pressure, reliable in chaos. This lesson transforms relationships, work, and inner dialogue. You stop being pushed around by every comment, setback, or inconvenience. You remain calm not because life is gentle, but because your inner world is disciplined. And once this discipline takes root, another truth becomes clear. Much of our unrest does not come from what we face, but from what we crave. This realization leads us to the sixth lesson, limiting excessive desires. If you're finding clarity here, stay connected. Subscribe to Stoic Quiet Strength, where composure is cultivated, and silence becomes power. As your ability to choose your response strengthens, you begin to notice something subtle but powerful. Many disturbances are not caused by events themselves, but by the intensity of our desires. We want things to go a certain way. We want recognition, comfort, certainty, approval. And when these wants grow unchecked, calm becomes fragile. This is why Stoicism places great importance on the sixth lesson, limiting excessive desires. Seneca observed this clearly when he wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." The Stoics understood that desire, when left undisciplined, becomes a source of constant agitation. The more you demand from life, the more conditions you place on your peace. Calm becomes something you are always chasing, never holding. Limiting desire does not mean rejecting ambition or refusing improvement. It means choosing moderation. It means wanting what is sufficient, rather than endlessly reaching for what is unnecessary. The Stoic learns to ask a quiet but powerful question: is this essential to living well, or is it simply feeding restlessness? When desires are simplified, the mind settles. You are no longer at the mercy of endless comparison or expectation. You appreciate what is present without clinging to it, and you pursue goals without tying your self-worth to their outcome. This creates a deep sense of stability. Life stops feeling like a race and starts feeling like a path. Seneca warned that uncontrolled desire turns freedom into slavery. The Stoic response is restraint, not forced, but chosen. You learn to enjoy without attachment, to work without obsession, to rest without guilt. In this space, calm is no longer rare. It becomes familiar. And once desire is placed in its proper position, something even more important comes into focus. If calm is not built on pleasure or success, then what does it rest on? The Stoics were clear about this. Calm is sustained by virtue. This brings us to the seventh lesson: be virtuous. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." For the Stoics, virtue was not a moral performance or a public display. It was alignment. Alignment between thought, action, and principle. A virtuous life creates inner harmony because there is no conflict between who you are and how you live. Stoicism centers on four core virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom teaches you to see clearly and judge fairly. Courage allows you to face difficulty without avoidance. Justice guides you to act rightly toward others. Temperance keeps desire, emotion, and impulse in balance. Together, these virtues form the backbone of Stoic calm. When you live in accordance with virtue, you reduce inner friction. You do not lie to yourself. You do not betray your values for convenience. You do not live in constant self-contradiction. This integrity produces a quiet confidence. Even when life is unstable, you are not. Virtue also frees you from dependence on external validation. You measure your life not by praise or reward, but by alignment with what you know is right. This makes calm durable. No one can take it from you because it does not depend on them. A Stoic understands that circumstances rise and fall, but character remains. By committing to virtue, you create a stable center that does not shift with fortune. Calm becomes not something you seek, but something you embody. And when virtue anchors your life, another realization emerges naturally. Everything you experience, success, struggle, joy, loss, is temporary. This understanding leads us to the eighth lesson: recognizing the transitory nature of life. If this quiet discipline speaks to you, stay close. Subscribe to Stoic Quiet Strength, Power in Silence, and continue this journey of inner mastery. When virtue becomes your anchor, life begins to feel steadier. Yet Stoicism does not stop there. It asks you to look even deeper, beyond character and action, and to confront a truth that most people avoid. Everything changes. Everything passes. This is the eighth lesson. Understand the transitory nature of life. Marcus Aurelius returned to this idea again and again. He reminded himself, observe constantly that all things take place by change. Nothing you experience is fixed. Joy fades. Pain fades. Power fades. Even the strongest moments eventually dissolve into memory. The Stoic does not view this as something tragic, but as something clarifying. When you truly accept impermanence, you stop clinging. And when you stop clinging, calm becomes possible. Much of our suffering comes from acting as though things should last forever. We want happiness without interruption, success without decline, relationships without change. But life does not operate this way. The Stoic trains the mind to appreciate without attachment. You enjoy what comes, you endure what arrives, and you release what leaves. This rhythm creates emotional balance. Marcus Aurelius warned that attachment makes us fragile. When you expect permanence in a changing world, you are constantly disappointed. But when you expect change, you are rarely shaken. You meet life with humility, understanding that every moment is borrowed. This awareness sharpens gratitude and softens loss. Impermanence also places problems in perspective. What feels overwhelming today will not feel the same tomorrow. What troubles you now will eventually lose its grip. By remembering this, you prevent temporary events from dominating your inner world. Calm comes from knowing that no storm lasts forever. And from this understanding of impermanence flows the ninth lesson naturally: gratitude. Seneca believed gratitude was one of the most powerful tools for maintaining inner peace. He wrote, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart." Gratitude, in Stoicism, is not dependent on comfort or abundance. It is the ability to recognize value in the present moment, regardless of circumstance. The Stoic practices gratitude not by denying hardship, but by refusing to let hardship blind them. Even in difficulty, there is something to acknowledge: breath, time, learning, endurance. Gratitude shifts attention from what is missing to what remains. This shift changes emotional tone immediately. When you cultivate gratitude, envy weakens. Resentment fades. Comparison loses power. You stop measuring life against imagined alternatives and begin engaging with what is real. This grounds you. It reminds you that calm is not found by accumulating more, but by appreciating what already exists. Seneca encouraged reflection on simple things: moments of quiet, opportunities to grow, lessons learned through pain. Gratitude reframes adversity as instruction rather than injustice. It does not remove hardship, but it removes bitterness. As gratitude deepens, the Stoic mindset matures. You stop demanding perfection from life and start learning from it instead. This leads us to the final lesson: keep learning and growing. Epictetus believed that Stoicism was not a destination, but a practice. He reminded his students that progress mattered more than perfection. Growth, in Stoicism, is lifelong. There is always refinement to be done, awareness to sharpen, discipline to strengthen. The Stoic does not assume mastery. He remains a student. Every challenge becomes feedback. Every failure becomes information. This mindset prevents stagnation and arrogance. It keeps the mind flexible and humble. Growth also protects calm. When you view life as a continuous process of learning, setbacks lose their power to discourage. You are no longer defined by where you are, but by how you respond and what you take forward. Calm comes from knowing that nothing is wasted. Stoicism teaches that peace is built, not granted. It is shaped daily through choices, reflection, restraint, and understanding. These 10 lessons are not rules to memorize, but principles to return to whenever life feels heavy. In a loud world that rewards reaction, Stoicism offers something rare: composure. Quiet strength. Power in silence. By living these lessons, you cultivate a calm that does not depend on circumstances, approval, or control. It lives within you, steady and reliable. If this path resonates with you, stay connected. Subscribe to Stoic Quiet Strength, where we continue exploring timeless wisdom for modern resilience. Return to these lessons often. Practice them quietly. And remember, true power does not announce itself. It is felt in calm, steady presence.